Welcome, Hudson Valley, to this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. Our friend Melaine Rottkamp from Dutchess Tourism returns to give the local lowdown on Dutchess County's upcoming holiday and winter activities. We're talking to everything from the Sinterklaas Festival in Rhinebeck to the holiday tours at the historic sites, local lights displays, tree cutting, and so much more. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Melaine and myself here on In Touch. Thank you for all the kind words shared in regard to In Touch officially being awarded the 2023 New York State Broadcasters Association Award for Outstanding Public Affairs Program or Series as part of the 57th Annual Excellence in Broadcasting Awards. This recognition would not be possible without the incredible team here at Townsquare, all of our phenomenal guests that we learn and grow with every single week, and of course you, the listener. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just found us, thank you for taking part in the conversation and staying in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. We here at In Touch are all about, being in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. What better way to stay in touch with what's going on than by downloading the Townsquare Media mobile app for this radio station? Not only can you listen to this station live at any time using the app, but you can also listen to In Touch on demand. Besides In Touch, you can read daily articles about news, events, entertainment, and more that's going on in your community. And when the weather gets bad, you can use the app to check on weather reports and see which roads, schools, and organizations are closed. Your Townsquare Media app is the best place for concert tickets and events as well. We're constantly giving away tickets to the hottest shows in the area. Again, you'll have access to all of this if you just download the Townsquare Media mobile app for this radio station. In Touch is nothing without the support of the hundreds of listeners that we get on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening and taking part in the conversation. If you listen to In Touch through a podcast service such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please consider leaving a positive review. With more 5-star reviews on these platforms, the algorithms will work hard to promote our show and bring In Touch to new people. That and also sharing In Touch with your friends and family is so important. Just sharing our links and listening live each Sunday goes such a long way. Thank you for all you do to stay in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to another episode of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's public affairs and issues program. We got a great episode for you guys today, ready to get into the holiday season, holiday spirit with Melaine Rottkamp. You've heard her so many times here because we love her. We love having her on, and she gives so many great things. In case you've forgotten, she is the president and CEO of Dutchess Tourism, and here to give us the lowdown, the holiday lowdown of all the wonderful things that are going to be happening in Dutchess County. Melaine, how are you?
I'm great. I'm like the Santa Claus of tourism for Dutchess County. 'Cause my bag is full of amazing gifts you can give yourself and give other people here.
I love that. Actually, you really are like a holiday figure in that sense. You have so much to offer. And before we get into all that, you had a couple of things that happened before this show that were really cool. I want to talk about the trip to London. I want to talk about the Dutchess Tourism Awards of Distinction. But first, let's talk about London. You were in London.
I was in London. So Brand USA is the I Love New York for the United States. They are the destination marketing organization designed to get international travelers to come here to the U.S. And so as a part of their European Travel Week, I got to go participate as one of 40 CEOs from the U.S. to go participate in the CEO Summit and also the Media Marketplace. So while we were there in London, I got to meet with top-tier international media from the UK, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Denmark, Sweden, and tell them all about the wonderful things the international travelers can do here in Dutchess County in the Hudson Valley. Our proximity to New York City is a huge benefit for us. Many of those travelers are regular travelers to the U.S. They've regularly been to New York City. They haven't necessarily been that one step beyond. So they've been there, done that, seen that, but we present a whole different kind of experience. And, you know, we know that a lot of people are going to fly in there. They could fly in directly to Stewart. Yeah. Stewart International Airport has flights through Play Airlines every day that come in and out and connect through Iceland to 30 different cities in Europe. So it's easy easy for people if they want to just skip the city to come to us there. And I advocate for that too. Yep. But if they want to go to New York and spend a couple days, that's fine. Do that too. But then before you go home, come to us. Spend some resting, rejuvenating days. Eat good food. That's a lot of what they wanted to talk about was food.
We do have amazing food.
We have the most amazing food. And so I'm sitting there on these panels with a couple other folks, my colleagues from Louisiana, from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and my colleague from Kentucky talking about their bourbon trail and all that. But, everyone says they have great food. And, in Louisiana, it's sea to table. Here we're farm to table.
Yes.
And so we talk about all the farms that we have. More than 80 farms are providing food for our local restaurants here. And the CIA Chef Finder Pass, which we've talked about in the past, there's almost 40 restaurants in Dutchess County owned and operated by Culinary Institute of America graduates. So, for me to be able to tell that international audience that very famous French chef Paul Bocuse sent his son to Hyde Park to go to culinary school, that really rang bells for them. They were blown away. Anthony Bourdain went to Vassar College and to the Culinary Institute of America. So to kind of name drop some of those famous chefs for them was really a feather in our cap, and to highlight how many people, maybe they've gone and worked in Michelin star chefs in New York City or other places, but they've come back here, or the other people who never left because they loved it so much. They love the relationship that they have their farmers. So for me to be able to be this relatively small destination, but talk about these big things that we have, like the new Desai Blue sake brewery and things like that, it really piqued their interest. And so talking to those media was really fun for me as a real tiny DMO, a destination marketing organization, to say, look at these big things we have and how close we are to the city. If they're used to taking the train, it's a beautiful train ride up. So able to present it with a nice bow around the package to keep with our Christmas theme.
That's awesome. And it's just so funny to think about. It's like, here you are repping Dutchess County somewhere out in Europe, in London of all places. And I know this isn't your first time traveling either for it. It's really crazy to think about, because when you're living here, it's like, we're Dutchess County. We're a little piece here in New York. Everybody thinks of the city. But you're right. Yeah. There is so much, and to be able to get these people excited about coming up here, it's really incredible. And it's great that you are the person that can give that perspective, because you're such a great advocate for this area.
Well, it's a pleasure for me and an honor for me to do that. And they make my job easy. Yes. I don't run these visits. I just get to talk about them. Yep. So that's really fun for me to be able to do it. And I have been in Frankfurt, and we do have, I have a staff member that's been in Australia. Those Aussies, they come, they stay a long time. They spend a lot of money here. So it's a great market for us. So bringing people to the Hudson Valley, to Dutchess County, is such a special treat to be able to do, because they do love it. They love the outdoors. It's so beautiful here. And people who live here take for granted what we have. Yeah. And gosh, if you can give yourself any gift this holidays, don't take for granted. Make a bucket list once a month, even. Say today, we're going to pick one day every month, and we're going to go someplace in Dutchess County that we've never been before. And I promise you will thank yourself for giving yourself that gift.
Yeah. Actually, one of the things that we're going to talk about real soon about the holidays is actually, believe it or not, something I've never done, and I've been meaning to do it, and I hope I get to do it this year. We'll talk about that in a sec. But thank you for getting into the London trip and everything. Now I want to talk about the Dutchess Tourism Awards. The last time you were here, you were getting ready for that. There wasn't much you could say yet because everything was still underway. Not everything was fully announced. But now that everything's all said and done, what can you tell us about it? It looked amazing. Everything I saw online was phenomenal.
It is one of my favorite days of the whole year. We were at the Wallace Center at the FDR Library and home there. Sold out event, waiting list event. bringing people in the industry together from all over the county and beyond, people that wanted to be a part of it, to see what we have here and what we do that's so special. So it was our 10th anniversary. The first time we did this was at the Culinary Institute of America at the Marriott Pavilion. It just opened. And we were celebrating our 30th anniversary as Dutchess County Tourism back then. And so now as Dutchess Tourism, Inc., an independent 501c6, we've gone through a lot of changes, a lot of growth. So being able to share with that group that growth. So back then, we had 600 businesses listed on our website. Now we have 1,200. We had 463,000 visitors coming to our website, which we thought was awesome. Now it's 1.5 million. Visitor spending back then was in the 400,000s. Now we just had a record in 2022, $706 million is spent in Dutchess County by visitors. So, that's a big number, but when you break it down to realize the average is $1.9 million a day on average is spent in Dutchess County by visitors, you realize that huge economic impact that is for our businesses and attractions. And not only is it good for them, but it's good for our residents.
Yes.
Because those visitors pay taxes. They pay sales taxes. They pay occupancy taxes. They pay, if they rent a car, there's a tax on that goes to New York State. And if all of that money went away, if all those tourists went away and didn't spend that money, didn't contribute that net new money to our economy, our residents would need to each pay per household $791. Per household in order for our government services to stay the same.
That's significant.
It is. So we have to be kind to, I know sometimes it can be a lot when your restaurants are full that you want to go to, our trails are packed, but be patient, be kind, because the value that brings to us, the investment that brings to us. So we have all these new attractions and things that we love doing. That came because it started with a visit. People don't just randomly open a business somewhere. They've come, they've visited, they've experienced a community, they've met its people, and then that's what makes them want to start a business or invest in one here. So it all starts with that tourism visit, and that's what leads to that success that the quality of life we all enjoy is driven from.
Absolutely. And I think that just goes on what we were both saying, how I'm thinking. It's like, Dutchess County, what's there to talk about over in Europe and everything? But then you also have the money that you just said that just came in, just goes to show how big our little county really is, how much we can help ourselves, how much we can help others. And give me that number again, 706
million.
706 million. Yeah. Lord, I can't count that high. Most people can't count that. Oh, holy cow. I think that just goes to show the amazing efforts everybody in Dutchess County are doing, and yourself as an advocate to try to boost all of that as well. So that's amazing to be able to celebrate at the Distinction Awards for the 10th anniversary. Amazing.
Yeah. And we had some new categories. We had a newcomer award of distinction this year. So the finalists in that category were Foxtrot Farms. They do flower CSAs and all kinds of events out there. The Reclaimed Motel in Red Hook. They've taken this older, really wonderful motel, but used a lot of recycled, upscaled materials to make beautiful rooms and welcome people here. And then 10 Mile Distillery was our winner in that category this year. And if you haven't been out to Eastern Dutchess to visit them, it is a stunning place, and their whiskey's pretty darn good too. So, nice. It's fun to highlight that we had an award promoting collaborations, and there's a lot of people. Innisfree Garden was the winner of that category. They work with a lot of different groups and organizations to put on great events. There's County Executives Overall Award. We do Mary Kay Verba Award. If you know anything about Dutchess Tourism, Mary Kay Verba was our powerhouse CEO who had the good foresight to announce her retirement in February 2020. So we have named an award in her honor that we recognize a really special frontline person who contributes significantly. And Judy Hannon from Revel 32 was the winner of that award. And if you don't know Judy, go to Revel 32, meet her. She is incredible to work with. Really one of the people that makes our industry such a fun place to hang out and be and support and promote. And then we also do do a Frontline Hospitality Service Award, and that went to Valerie Barone, who's at Joseph's Steakhouse behind the bar, and she's amazing and phenomenal. So tons of really great businesses to highlight, promote. We had an event category won by Bannerman Castle Trust.
Wow.
So it's just a super day. It's a lot of excitement because you don't know the winners until you go.
Yeah.
So it gives us an opportunity to spend a month or two promoting all these different businesses, 3 in each category, who are doing phenomenal work, because there are so many. It's not just one person or 2 persons or 3 persons. It's all of us working together to make this destination so strong.
It is so strong. Honestly, it's a powerhouse of a county that we have. It truly is. If we haven't shown that already through previous episodes or just simply the first half of this episode, I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with the one and only Melaine Rottkamp, President and CEO of Dutchess Tourism, and it has been an incredible fall for them. Wonderful things are happening. Just telling us about the 2022 numbers that just came in with, you got to say it again, it's so big.
$706 million.
Oh, that's just sends shivers down my spine. That is so good. That is the kind of impact Dutchess County has, and I think that is amazing. So that was what was going on in the fall. We got to look forward into the holidays now. Thanksgiving is behind us. We are full into almost December, but we're there. It's the holiday season and everything, and there are so many great things. You said a moment ago that, the residents here in Dutchess County, sometimes we take advantage of things and then we don't get to do everything. One of the things that I have yet to do, and I really want to go, hopefully I can this year, I was looking at your website, one of the first things there, the Sinterklaas in Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
Can we start there and then just kind of go into all the other wonderful things going on?
Yeah, that's such a special signature event that takes place in the village of Rhinebeck. It's always the first Saturday of December, every single year. Great for families, but not just for families. So there's activities all throughout the day at different locations around the village. But the culmination is a parade, a lighted parade.
Yeah,
and these are
it.
puppets and it's just, I can't even describe how special and unique and wonderful it is. And it's a lot of volunteers that make that happen. And so if you're someone who likes to volunteer, reach out to them, just go to their website, and I'm sure that they will put you to work, because there's a lot of work. Many hands make light work, but yes, the village just comes to life in this Dutch tradition, and lots of dancing and music and arts and crafts and the parade. And so it's fantastic. Do not miss it. Please go. Please enjoy it. If you have time, we did a couple years ago. We had our film crew here, and boy, did we pack in a day. We started at Battenfeld's Christmas tree farm in the morning and caught people cutting their Christmas trees. We caught an engagement happening, a proposal. We talked to Santa Claus. There was a bagpipe band. We were on a horse-drawn carriage ride. The horses have the jingle bells. If you go see our holiday video, you'll see that in there. So that was fun. And then we went to Sinterklaas. And then when Sinterklaas was done, we went to the Dutchess County Fairgrounds and did the drive-through lights.
Yes, so good. We did that last year. It was my parents' first time ever seeing that, and they fell in love. It was so good.
Yeah, we love
lights.
Well, exactly. And you know what's great about that is that it's good for everyone. It's good for all generations. It's good for all ability levels. Yes. We took my dad and his wife a few years ago, and they have some mobility challenges, but just driving through was fantastic. And we stopped at Samuel's Sweet Shop for some treats. And you can have so many wonderful, magical experiences in Dutchess County during the holidays.
Absolutely. I think it's spectacular. And I'm glad that you brought up the lights. I love seeing light displays and everything. It is so cool. And especially going to the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds is great for that. I think that is a great example. But then not just that, the historic sites are one of the big attractions when it comes to that year after year. We were actually talking with Joey Cavassini about that just recently, talking about the historic sites. For those of you guys who didn't check that episode out, he is the Wappinger Town historian, along with also being the new town supervisor of Wappinger. and he was telling us about all that and how it's a great way to get people into the history of the area. You decorate it all, make it all look pretty, but then once you're in there, the history is not all about the holidays, but it just gets you in the door to start learning and appreciating the area.
Yeah, we promote great estates for the holidays, and each one is a little bit different. You know, you go to see a Statsburg State Historic Site that is just decorated to the nines. It takes their volunteers weeks and weeks to put that together, but it is stunning in that Gilded Age extravagance. And then you go to the FDR home, which is much more modest. It was very lived in, and it was very, normal people kind of Christmas, even though he's the president. Yeah. And, so the way they approached that. Our staff was just at Wilderstein in Rhinebeck, and they're getting ready to do their decorations. And that home is totally different than any of the others. And they also bring in different kind of designers. So different rooms are done by different people, so it has a really interesting look. Some of them are a little avant-garde, some of them are more traditional, so that's unique and different. Locust Grove has theirs coming up. The things I love, they do Sunset Sensations. If you haven't been to Sunset Sensations, that's all throughout May each month, and then in December they do 2. So what you get to do is you go and you have a little wine, and then you get to go tour the mansion all decorated, and then you come back and they have a chef doing a little tasting menu that's paired with wine. It's one of our traditions that we do every single year, and we bring more friends along. And so, that's on a Thursday night. There's, I think it's the second and third or first and second. I apologize. I should have checked first.
It's on your website,
It's on the website. It's on the website. But Sunset Sensations, that's a Thursday night event, so that's a good thing to do. Speaking of Joey, talk about Mizzier Homestead and what they have. Go down to Mount Goulian and their decorated estate in Beacon. No shortage of beauty and unique storytelling too. And even, that's what it's all about, is the storytelling. And it's just, it's a special thing. Our family, for years, even when our kids were younger, my goal was to try to get everything done with a week to spare. And then sometime during that week, we would go visit one of the mansions and have like a nice meal out, and maybe go see a theater performance at the Center for Performing Arts in Rhinebeck or County Players or somewhere else. And I look back so fondly, now that my boys are grown, on those memories that we made at those places.
And that's so cool. And there's still so many more memories to still make for your family, for all the families that are listening, for all the families that you, the listener, will tell who haven't heard, but they will just get the word out and going. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with Melaine Rottkamp, President and CEO of Dutchess Tourism, talking about the wonderful things that's going on in the Hudson Valley for the most wonderful time of the year, the holiday season. We're not done yet. We're still talking about some awesome stuff. We keep saying to check out the website. You guys do this awesome thing about having these landing pages for the different seasons. I was just looking at the winter one. You have so many great things up there. Everything we've talked about already, but you have some awesome top 10s, some great lists. Could you go into what people could find there about that?
Yeah, DutchessTourism.com/winter. And you're going to find, where to cut Christmas trees, great places to shop. We have our staff recommendations on there, and it's so hard to choose. And there's 9 of us, and we're like,
tough.
It is. We have to kind of rock paper scissors. Who's going to get to talk about what thing? Yep. So that's a lot of fun. The different places to see holiday lights. That'll be a spotlight that'll be coming, and will be up by the time that you hear this. And then, all the top 10 events for December. Yep. And for November, some of them are at the end of the month, so you can check that out. So
still got a couple days.
But plan ahead. Even we'll have things like New Year's. We're looking ahead to New Year's Eve and all that kind of thing. But anything and everything you want to know. You have family coming for the holidays, as so many of us do, and you don't know what to do with them. You don't want to sit around the house all the time. Mm-hmm. Take a look at that list. Take a look at the event calendar, because it's packed. There are so many things to do.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things that I saw on there, and I'm going to have to hit up each of the places, but like the top 10 hot cocoa places. That got me excited looking at that one.
Well, you're going to be more excited because we're getting ready to launch another Finder Pass.
Oh, yes, of course. Very excited about this. The Finder Passes are really cool the way that you have this set up. It's kind of like a little scavenger hunt all throughout the county to be able to see things. And tell us about the one that you guys coming up for December.
Yeah, so we have the Confection Finder Sweet Tooth Trail. So everything, this is going to be a challenge where you go and you get some discounts at different places, but places like Spoon's Ice Cream and the Cakery and Emmy's Delights and Bites and the Midnight Munchie Company and other places will be offering discounts. So go check them out and maybe pick up a few things for some stocking stuffers or for some other small gifts and that you want to give to people as you're going to visit them during all the various holidays that we have. They make wonderful little hostess gifts.
Yes.
So tons of great things to do and check out. And of course, you have to sample while you're there because you have
course.
to make sure it's great, right?
Have to make sure that it's quality stuff, of course.
Exactly.
You gotta be sure. It's like, if I'm going to give this away, I need to know that it is top tier. Absolutely.
100%. And so like another gift idea is our craft beverage pass. It's the Taste Finder. So if you want to give a 1 day, a 3 day, if you're a local and you want to give a 90-day pass to somebody who you don't know, that's the best part. For people who you don't know what to buy for, that pass, covers breweries, distilleries, cideries, wineries, the meadery and Poughkeepsie. They're all on there. And so we encourage you to think of that as a wonderful gift to give somebody maybe for those aficionados who enjoy craft beverages.
Oh, talking about the meadery, you just gave me a good idea for a friend of mine.
I know,
good.
Right?
See? Inspiration comes from everywhere.
That's right. That's right. I know. I think of all these things. I have to write them down. Otherwise, I don't remember. They go in one side of my brain and out the other because there's too much to remember.
That's why I record them. That's what I do. I'm just
So
like
smart.
checking off stuff and writing, instead of writing stuff down, I just have you guys tell me on this show and then I have record.
That's what we're here for.
I take advantage of it all. Every guest that comes in, I was like, what was that? Oh, I can just go back to the episode. We're good. But it's true. I take advantage of a lot. Thank you to every guest that comes through. I get so much out of this myself, and I hope you, the listener, do as well. Melaine, this has been incredible. Unfortunately, our time is running short. I know. For those who are still looking for something or they want to check out the things that we've talked about already, how do they find the landing page? How do they find the website? How do they get in contact if they need to?
Yeah, so DutchessTourism.com. That's the landing page. You're going to see spotlights there. If you want to go just to the winter stuff, go /winter. If you want to look at the event calendar, that's there too. If you need some inspiration from videos, our YouTube channel is awesome. And email info@DutchessTourism.com, or you can just message us on our social media channels. That's another good way to contact us.
Yeah, you guys are very good about getting back to stuff, so that's very, very good. And I got to say, the YouTube channel, pretty good stuff. I got to see behind the scenes of one of your videos recently,
right.
So that was really cool. Really grateful to be a part of that. That was awesome. But no, that's so good. Melaine, before we officially wrap up, is there any last little nugget or last little plug that you got to get in there before the radio censors cut us off?
We need an hour. Truly.
I know we do.
But do give yourself the gift of time. Do give yourself time. There's a lot of great wellness centers out there. Don't forget to treat yourself with kindness.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing. We're all running around. We're all trying to do the best we can for others. Of course, this is a time of giving, but you're right. Take care of yourself. You can't pour out of an empty cup.
That's it.
So that's a very big thing, and I'm glad that you said that. Melaine, it's always a pleasure having you in here. Thank you so much, and happy holidays to you.
And to you.
Appreciate it. This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to Melaine Rottkamp. For more information about Dutchess Tourism, Inc., please visit DutchessTourism.com. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just joined us, thank you. You can find In Touch episodes new and old on your favorite streaming services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. That and listen on demand with your Townsquare radio station mobile app. Of Of course, you can still find all articles and audio under the In Touch tab on this radio station's app and website. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at InTouch_HV. I've been your host, Connor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time.